December 19th, Jeremiah. Jeremiah 23, verses 5 and 6. The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will raise up for David a righteous branch, and he shall reign as king and deal wisely, and shall execute justice and righteousness in the land. In his days, Judah will be saved, and Israel will live in safety. And this is the name by which he will be called: the Lord is our righteousness. 2 Chronicles 36, verses 15 and 16, 20 and 21. The Lord, the God of their ancestors, sent persistently to them by his messengers, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they kept mocking the messengers of God, despising his words, and scoffing at his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord against his people became so great that there was no remedy. He took into exile in Babylon those who had escaped from the sword, and they became servants to him and to his sons until the establishment of the kingdom of Persia, to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, until the land had made up for its Sabbaths. All the days that it lay desolate it kept Sabbath, to fulfill 70 years. Once again, God's people returned to worshiping idols and disobeying God, until, as it says, there was no remedy. The kingdom of Israel had been destroyed, and the remnant of God's people, called Judah, were again heading into exile, this time in Babylon. In that time, God chose a young man named Jeremiah to be his prophet. The Lord told Jeremiah that he had sent him apart to be his prophet before he was even born. Jeremiah was nervous, and he told God that he was too young to do what God was calling him to do. The Lord told Jeremiah not to be afraid, and reminded him that he would be with him and rescue him always. Then God reached out and touched Jeremiah's mouth to show that he had put his words in Jeremiah's mouth for him to share with the people. God sent Jeremiah to tell his people how his heart was broken, that they had again returned to worshiping idols. He also wanted Jeremiah to tell them that this would not be the end. Although they would experience sadness, death, and sickness, and would cry many tears, God had a plan for the remnant of Israel to return to their land once again. There they would learn to receive God's comfort and to be satisfied with God's blessings for them. Jeremiah told God's people that he promised to raise up a new leader for them, a branch of the root of David and Jesse's family, to rule over the people. This righteous branch is Jesus, who was born around 600 years after the Israelites' exile in Babylon. Through Jesus, God's relationship with his people changed from laws to love, although many would say it was still based on love all along. Righteous One, you forgive your people even when they break your heart. Help our hearts to be filled and satisfied by you only, so that there is no room for idols. Thank you for sending Jesus to be our righteous leader and king. Branching out. 1. Go outside and find a tree with many branches. Talk about how the branches are connected to the trunk and the roots of the tree. 2. Share about a time when you were nervous or felt too young to do something. 3. Look up the meaning of the word righteous. Talk with your family about what it looks like to live righteously. Why is it important to have leaders that are righteous?